Okay, folks, it's me, Tony Jolly, and I'm your English teacher. What I want to do with this session is to introduce English as I see it and as I see the learning opportunity that you have with me on your various programs with me. I teach English in the Fac des Lettres and also at the University's Business School, the Foundry. So let's try to start with this and lay down some basic ideas about the English language. The first thing is that most of you have been doing English, it would seem, forever. What I'd actually like you to do would be perhaps to stop this video, have a chat with your mates, and compare and contrast your experience. What do I mean by that? Well, how many years have you actually been studying English? Characteristically, I get maybe one or two that perhaps say 4 or 5, but the vast majority will be saying 10 to 15. That's a hell of a long time. So my second question is not so much about the length of time, but about your degree of confidence with the language. If I asked you on a scale of 1 to 10, let's say, what is your confidence level with your use of English, written and especially speaking? How confident do you feel that you are after all that time of being able to express yourself and make yourself and your meaning understood clearly? Well, let's give you a couple of examples. Here's number one, a situation for you. You're at work. The boss comes up to you and says, we got a problem and I think you're our solution. There's a major future client coming for a tour around our business, our factory, our systems and processes. He wants to meet all the key people and see what we do and how well we do it. I really need someone to be able to take him round and do all of that. The problem is he doesn't speak a word of French. You'll have to do this in English. I've been through all the CVs and you've got the best English we've got. Will you do it? Well, the question is, how confident would you be in that particular situation to take on what could be a very lucrative client who hasn't quite signed for your company yet? The business could be made or it could be lost, and it's in your hands and your ability, not as a manager, you're already a good manager, but as someone who can communicate in English in an oral form. What is your degree of confidence? 10 on 10? Yep, bring it on. No problem at all. I'll do that. Everything will be fine. Trust me. Just need 5 minutes to get my thoughts around what I'm going to say. Or is it the other end? Find someone else. It's just not going to happen, believe me. My English was a long time ago. I never got it right then. Forget it. You've got to get someone else. Ring someone. Get a translator. Go and buy one of those clever little sticks that we can translate French to English. Why don't you? 0 then. Are you somewhere between? Are you 6, 7 or 7 or 8? Yeah, I think I could do it. I'm going to make some mistakes, so I hope this person is going to be a bit forgiving. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that I can make myself understood and that I can give a good explanation of who we are and what we do. Are you at 2 or 3, 3 or 4? I'd much rather that you found somebody else. But if all else fails and there is no one else, I'll do my best, but don't blame me if it's not particularly good, okay? So where are you on the 1 to 10 continuum? I suspect we're going to find that compared to the years you've spent learning English, that your level of confidence is not as high as the years would suggest and is not as high as you would like it to be. Let's give you another situation, this time a written one. Same rules, 0 to 10 apply. Your boss says, I've got to go to the States. I'm on a speaking tour of the States, selling our products at exhibitions and important meetings with important people. What I need is for you to make all of the arrangements and to make them in English. I want you to be able to directly book the hotels, etc., and the transport, the connections, and set up meetings and conferences for me. Are you confident that you can do that? A lot of that is going to need specific instructions in English in a written form. Can you do that? Will you do that for me? Can I rely on you? If I trust you, can you deliver on that so that everything works? So I'd like you to think about that individually and together. Just how much confidence do you have in the writing side of things? As I said, I suspect what we're going to get again is maybe a mirror of a situation where you have had a lot of vocabulary, a lot of lessons, a lot of grammar, but come the moment, you'd probably prefer somebody else to do it, or at least if you did it, you might not have the full confidence that you wish you would have after all this time studying. So the thesis that I'm starting out with is that actually you've got enough English. What seems to be lacking is your ability and confidence to actually use what you do have. One can always learn more vocabulary. One can always sharpen things up. But if you haven't got the confidence to try, to launch out, let's be honest about it, to make a mistake. We all make mistakes. If I were to speak to you in French, I could speak for 5 minutes and you'd find perhaps I would make 5 or 10 mistakes during that period of time. But I think you'd agree that what I was saying would be understandable. So the point is, with the little time that remains to you at university, you might be in your 3rd year of a degree, your licence, about to leave. You may be in your 1st or 2nd year of masters, about to leave. You are, if you like, in the last chance saloon for your English. Well, picture it. Clint Eastwood gets off a horse in a tiny little town on the edge of the desert, and he's going to go into the bar and he's going to get himself a drink because it's the last chance of having a drink before you face going across the desert. Well, you're in the last chance saloon for your English. Because if you don't leave university with confidence to use what teachers have been giving you since secondary school, maybe even before, and throughout your university career, if you don't develop the confidence to use that now, well, when are you going to? And if you need it, are you prepared to pay 30, 50, 70, 100 euros an hour for somebody to teach you or to do some translation work for you? So what I'm hoping is that what we're going to be doing together is going to enable you to develop the confidence to know whatever you're doing, especially when you're speaking, because you don't have a lot of time to think and reflect, you will be making mistakes. My father used to say, Tony, the crime is not making a mistake. The crime is not learning from the mistake that you've made. So you have my permission. You can make mistakes. Try not to. Try to do it right. And I will applaud you for that. I will give you good marks for that when you're trying. And I will try myself to be able to help you improve what you've given. But my intention is that whatever you're doing, you should be able to write or to say what it is that you mean to have someone else understand. That's the acid test. That's the minimum requirement that I have. Whatever level you're at, I want this confidence to increase so that your English becomes more free, more natural, and you become more relaxed and more confident. That's the best service I can give you in this last chance saloon. If all I do is cram your head with further vocabulary and arcane corrections to your English grammar, which you are not confident in using, well, what good is that going to do? So there's my deal. I need you from your side to launch out and try. And also for you to use those tools which are there for you. I do not mean translation tools. I do not mean Babelfish. I do not mean Google Translate. I don't mean a stick translator. I don't mean Babel. What I mean is your spell check, for example. You're using your computer. Usually your computer will have a button to be able to change the language. Your default language may well be French. You can change that to English, which means you will get offered corrections by your piece of software to help you if you spelt something wrong or your tenses don't match. Now that is acceptable. It's acceptable to the university and it's not plagiarism. A tool I would heartily recommend to you is one maybe most of you know. It's called Grammarly, Grammarly, Grammarly. Look it up online. You download a tiny little bit of software and it sits behind anything you do. And if you tell it you want it to check your English language, whether you're doing a PowerPoint presentation in English, whether you're writing in Word, whether you're writing an email, if you're using English, it switches itself on and it comes up with corrections for you. It says, I think you've done this wrong. Here's what you've said. This is what you should have said. And this is the rule. This is what you need to learn from this. Now, those tools are acceptable, but the other translation tools are not. Because if you use a translation tool and you put your name on the piece of work, that is plagiarism. Not only is it not acceptable, you can fail your assignment, fail your unit, fail your course, fail your degree or your master's, get thrown out of the university and banned from any further university studies for a period of 4 or 5 years if you're not careful. So please, please, please do not use those tools. Do not look online and find a nice convenient copy and paste. I'll probably find it if you do, because the English will be different from your normal use of English. So please, please, please try and develop your own confidence, not confidence in these tools that help you to cheat. When you're having a conversation with someone, you don't have a chance to use those tools anyway. You can only be confident in yourself and in what you know and what you're trying to do, and your willingness to try your best, knowing you'll make a mistake, but knowing that you will be understood and the person opposite you will be entirely grateful that you are taking responsibility for speaking to them in their language and not the other way round. Okay, so you're in the last chance saloon. I'd like you to act as if you are, okay? Immerse yourself in English. You can change the language on your computer to English, so you get the menus in English. If you're looking to catch up on the news, instead of France Inter or TF1, take the BBC. If you want to watch a football match, take the commentary in English. If you love certain English music and English groups, sing along. You might not know this, but when you sing along to a song that you know, you almost completely lose your French accent and you acquire the accent of the English people that you are trying to copy or sing along with. It's a very good way of being able to teach your body, your tongue, and the shape of your mouth how to do things in English. For example, when we sing, we don't say this, that, these and those, this, that, these and those. Those people We sing, and you will start saying the th, the th, as your tongue between your teeth. This, that, these, those. Not your typical French tongue behind your teeth. This, that, these, and those. So, if I ignore this telephone call, my apologies. That's what I want you to do, okay? I want you to immerse yourself in English as much as you possibly can. It will help, and it will help you develop your confidence in using the years of English that you already have and improving the English that you've got as well. Okay, there we go. Once again, my sincere apologies for the telephone that I forgot to switch off before doing this video. Okay, goodbye for now.